Jason never thought his senior prom would become the strangest night of his life. He was just a normal guy in a normal town, counting down the days until graduation. But that night, everything changed, and it started with his mom's friend. Zara, Jason's mom, had always been a little strange. She loved books about the stars. She collected rocks that looked like they came from another planet. And she always said things like, "We are not alone." Jason thought it was just her hobby, her way of escaping the boring life of their small town. But then, one evening, she introduced him to someone new. "This is Zara," his mom said with a warm smile. Jason looked up and froze. Zara looked human, but not completely. Her eyes were silver, like shining metal, glowing faintly under the kitchen light. Her skin was too smooth, almost glowing, and her voice was calm and soft. Like music. Jason blinked, trying not to stare. "This is your friend?" he asked. "Yes," his mom said. "An old friend." Jason didn't know what to say. Zara just gave a small smile and nodded politely. The silence felt heavy, like something important was being hidden. And that was the beginning of the story. A few days later, Jason's friends started teasing him. They saw Zara once when she came to pick something up at his house. "Dude," his friend Mark whispered, "is that model living with you?" Jason rolled his eyes. "She's just my mom's friend." Mark grinned. "Then take her to prom, man, I dare you, it'll be hilarious." Jason laughed it off, but the idea stuck. That night, at dinner, Jason joked, "Hey Zara, want to come to prom with me?" He expected her to laugh or refuse, but instead Zara tilted her head and said, "If that would make you happy, Jason, then yes." Jason almost choked on his drink. His mom gave him a strange look, like she knew something he didn't. And suddenly, the joke became real. Prom night arrived. Jason wore his best suit, his hands shaking as he waited. Then Zara came down the stairs. She wore a simple dark dress, but somehow, it looked otherworldly on her. Every step she took was smooth, almost floating. Jason's heart raced not because she was beautiful, though she was, but because something about her felt different, powerful, dangerous. When they walked into the school gym, silence spread across the room. Everyone turned to stare. Jason felt every eye burning into his back. Some people whispered, some laughed, but no one could look away from Zara. She smiled politely, as if the attention didn't bother her at all. Mark ran up to Jason, grinning. "Dude, you actually did it," he whispered. "You brought the alien supermodel." Jason tried to laugh, but his throat was dry. He kept glancing at Zara, wondering if she understood the stares, the whispers. But she didn't seem nervous. In fact, she looked calm, almost too calm. The music started and couples began dancing. Jason hesitated, but Zara gently took his hand. Her touch was warm, yet it sent a strange energy rushing through him. They moved onto the dance floor. At first, Jason stumbled, awkward and nervous, but Zara moved like she already knew the rhythm of the universe. Her body glided with perfect grace, every step in sync with the music. People stopped dancing just to watch them. Whispers grew louder. "Who is she?" "She doesn't look normal." Jason's heart pounded. He felt proud for a moment, but then he saw it. As the lights flashed across the floor, Zara's skin shimmered, not like glitter, but like waves of liquid light. Only for a second, but Jason saw it clearly. His stomach dropped. She wasn't normal, not even close. Zara leaned close and whispered, "You are safe with me, Jason. Don't be afraid." Her words were calm, but his fear grew. Did she know what he was thinking? Could she read his mind? The night dragged on. Jason tried to act normal, but everywhere he looked, people were staring. Some with awe, some with fear. At the end of the night, when they left the gym, Zara suddenly stopped under the stars. She looked up at the sky with a strange sadness. Then she turned to Jason and said, "One day you will understand why this night matters." Jason frowned. "What do you mean?" he asked, but Zara just smiled, her silver eyes glowing softly in the dark. And for the first time in his life, Jason felt like his world was about to break open. He thought taking his mom's alien friend to prom was just a joke. But that night was no joke. It was the beginning of something bigger, something dangerous, something that would change his life forever. The morning after prom, Jason sat in his room staring at the ceiling. He could not sleep much, his head full of images, Zara's glowing eyes, her smooth steps on the dance floor, the way her skin shimmered like light underwater. It was not normal, not human, and deep inside, Jason knew the truth. Something was different about her. His phone buzzed with messages. Bro, who was that girl? Is she a model from another country? Tell me the secret, man. Jason ignored them all. He didn't have an answer, and even if he did, who would believe him? Later that day, Jason walked into the kitchen. His mom and Zara were sitting at the table drinking tea. They both stopped talking when Jason entered. The silence felt heavy. Jason sat down, eyes moving from his mom to Zara. He wanted to ask questions, but his throat felt dry. Finally, he said, "What are you?" The words slipped out before he could stop them. His mom froze, but Zara smiled calmly. "What do you think I am, Jason?" she asked, her voice calm, almost too calm. Jason swallowed hard. "Not human." Zara leaned back in her chair, her silver eyes shining. "You are right," she said softly. "I am not human." Jason's heart skipped. He looked at his mom, but she didn't look surprised. Instead, she gave him a sad nod, like she had been waiting for this moment. "Why? Didn't you tell me?" Jason whispered. His mom sighed. "Because the truth is heavy, Jason, and once you know it, you cannot go back." Jason felt his chest tighten. He had always thought his mom was strange, but now he realized she had been hiding something much bigger. Zara reached into her pocket and pulled out a small device. It was no bigger than a phone, but it glowed with a faint blue light. The light seemed alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. Jason leaned closer, his breath shaking. "What is that?" Zara placed it gently on the table. "This is proof," she said. "Proof that I am from far beyond your world." Jason stared at it, unable to look away. The device shifted shapes like liquid metal, then settled into a glowing sphere. It floated above the table for a moment, spinning slowly. Jason gasped, almost falling out of his chair. "That's impossible." Zara shook her head. "Impossible for humans, not for us." Jason's mom placed a hand on his arm. Jason listened to her. His chest burned with questions. "So what are you doing here? Why my mom? Why this town?" Zara's smile faded, replaced with something darker. "I came here to hide," she whispered, her voice almost breaking. Jason frowned. "Hide? From who?" Zara's silver eyes glowed brighter. "From my own people." Jason froze. "What do you mean?" Zara looked at the window as if expecting someone to appear outside. "My people watch Earth. They study your kind," she said. "But I wanted something different. I wanted to live among you, to see life as you live it. Not as a subject, not as an experiment." Jason's stomach turned. He felt like his whole world was cracking. "You're saying aliens are watching us?" Zara nodded. "Yes, they have been watching for centuries." Jason's heart raced. If this was true, then humanity was not alone, never had been. "But why did you go to prom with me?" Jason asked, his voice shaking. Zara tilted her head. "Because you asked and because I wanted to feel human." Jason blinked, not knowing what to say. Her words carried something soft, almost sad. For the first time, she did not feel like a cold visitor from another world. She felt real, lonely, searching for connection. But then her tone shifted. She leaned closer, her silver eyes piercing through him. "Jason, last night something happened," she said. "Something I did not expect." Jason's hands trembled. "What do you mean?" Zara lifted her sleeve, showing her arm. A faint glowing pattern spread across her skin like moving tattoos. Jason's eyes widened. "What is that?" Her voice was firm now. "It started after I touched your hand, Jason. This has never happened before. The room grew silent. Jason's mom looked worried, her hands gripping her cup tightly. Jason felt cold. What does it mean? He asked. Zara took a deep breath. It means you and I are connected now, in a way that cannot be undone. Jason shook his head. No, that's impossible. I'm just a guy. I'm not special. But deep down, he knew his life had already changed. Something inside him felt different, a strange pulse running through his body. Zara whispered, "Your world is about to change, Jason, and you must decide if you are ready to see the truth." Jason leaned back, his mind spinning. The kitchen around him felt smaller, darker. He wanted to run, to deny everything. But when he looked at Zara's glowing eyes, he knew there was no escape. This was real. Too real. And then, Zara said something that made Jason's blood run cold. "If you really want to know me, Jason, I will show you something no human has ever seen." Jason's breath caught in his throat. The room was silent, except for the faint hum of the glowing device on the table. He realized this was only the beginning. The joke of taking an alien to prom had turned into a secret far bigger than he ever imagined, and the truth was just starting to unfold. Jason could not stop staring at Zara's arm. The glowing lines moved under her skin like living light, twisting and flowing in strange patterns. They pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat, and Jason felt the same pulse echoing inside his own chest. It was terrifying, but it was also hypnotic. "What is happening to me?" Jason whispered, his voice trembling. Zara studied him with calm silver eyes. "This is not something I planned, Jason," she said softly. "Your touch awakened something in me, something that should not have happened." Jason's mom looked, worried, her hands gripping the edge of the table. "Zara, you promised this would not involve him," she said, her voice sharp. Zara lowered her head. "I did not expect this, but now it is too late." Jason stood up, his chest tight. "What? Do you mean too late?" Zara looked straight at him. "Jason, you and I are now linked, bonded in a way that no human and no one from my world should ever be." Jason shook his head. "That doesn't make sense. I'm just a regular guy." But his words felt empty, because deep inside, he knew something had already changed. Zara reached for the small glowing device on the table. With a flick of her hand, the device expanded into a holographic display. The kitchen filled with light as strange symbols floated. In the air, spinning slowly, Jason stepped back, his eyes wide. "What is this?" Zara pointed at the lights. "This is my memory." The symbols shifted and formed into moving images. Jason saw vast alien cities, towers made of crystal, glowing rivers that floated above the ground, skies filled with strange machines, moving like living creatures. It was beautiful but also frightening. "This is my home," Zara whispered. "A place far beyond your world." Jason's breath caught. "It's real. You're really an alien." Zara nodded, her expression calm but sad. "Yes, and my people are not like yours, Jason. We are older, stronger, more advanced, but also colder." The images changed. Jason saw humans, but not like the humans of today. He saw caves, fire, shadows of early people struggling to survive. Zara's voice grew quiet. "We have been watching your species since the beginning, guiding you, testing you, shaping you." Jason's eyes widened. "You mean humanity didn't evolve alone?" Zara looked at him, her silver eyes glowing. "No, Jason, you are not only human, you are also our creation." Jason's stomach twisted. His whole life he had been told humans were unique, special, standing at the top of evolution. Now he was hearing that humanity was just an experiment, a project of some alien race. "That's insane," Jason said, shaking his head. "You're lying." But the images did not stop. They showed humans being lifted into glowing ships, tools and weapons given to them, strange symbols carved into stone long before history recorded them. Jason felt his legs weaken, his knees almost giving out. His mom placed a hand on his shoulder, her face pale. "I didn't want you to know, Jason," she whispered. "But I've known the truth for years." Jason's eyes snapped to her. You knew? She nodded slowly, her eyes wet. Yes. Zara trusted me and I promised to keep her secret, because the world is not ready for this truth. Jason's head spun. He felt betrayed, lost, and afraid. Why me? He asked. Why did you bring her here? Why let me find out? His mom looked away, unable to answer. Zara's voice cut through the silence. Because you were chosen. Jason's heart pounded. Chosen? For what? Zara stepped closer, her presence both comforting and overwhelming. Her voice was calm but carried a heavy weight. Jason, when we study humans, we search for certain qualities. Curiosity, strength, empathy, defiance. These qualities are rare, but when they appear, they change everything. Jason shook his head. I'm not special. I'm just a kid trying to finish high school. Zara's silver eyes glowed brighter. You are wrong, Jason, and soon you will see it yourself. The holographic images faded, and the kitchen grew dark again. Jason sat down, his legs trembling. Everything felt unreal, like a nightmare. But the glowing lines on Zara's arm reminded him it was all real, he whispered. If humans are experiments, and then what happens now? Zara paused before answering, her voice heavy with fear. My people never wanted us to bond, Jason. They will see it as a threat, and if they find out, they will not forgive it. Jason's mom gasped softly. Jason felt a cold chill crawl up his spine. So you're saying they'll come here? Zara nodded. Yes, and they will come soon. Jason felt his stomach drop. Everything inside him screamed to run, to hide, to forget. But when he looked at Zara, he saw the truth in her eyes. This was bigger than him, bigger than his mom, bigger than prom night. The world he thought he knew was gone. Zara stepped closer, her voice almost a whisper. Jason, you have a choice now. You can ignore this, pretend it never happened, or you can accept it and see the truth. Jason swallowed hard, his chest burning. What truth? He asked, his voice shaking. Zara leaned close, her silver eyes shining with a strange light. The truth that you are no longer only human, Jason, and your life will never be the same again. The room fell silent. Jason sat frozen, his heart beating like thunder. He wanted to scream, to deny it, to wake up from this impossible nightmare, but deep inside he already knew. The forbidden truth had been revealed, and there was no going back. That night Jason lay in his bed, eyes wide open. Sleep would not come, no matter how much he tried. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Zara's glowing arm, the holographic cities, the humans being lifted into alien ships. The forbidden truth was inside his head now, and it refused to leave. Jason rolled over, pressing his face into the pillow. But then, something strange happened. He saw flashes of light like stars exploding in the darkness. He wasn't dreaming, yet he wasn't awake either. Images poured into his mind. Alien towers of crystal, rivers of light, skies full of machines shaped like wings. It felt too real. Jason gasped, sitting up in bed, his chest pounding. What is happening to me? He whispered. Down the hall, Zara was awake too, sitting near the window of the guest room. Her silver eyes reflected the moonlight as she stared at the sky. She could feel it. The bond between her and Jason was growing stronger. She had tried to stop it, but the connection was alive now, and it was pulling them together. Jason stumbled into the hallway, his breath shaky. He froze when he saw Zara already waiting, her glowing eyes calm. You saw it, didn't you? She asked softly. Jason nodded slowly, his body trembling. I saw your world, but how? I was in my bed. I wasn't asleep. It was just inside my head. Zara stood, moving closer. Her presence made Jason's heart race, but not only with fear. This is what I feared, she whispered. Our minds are linking, Jason, piece by piece. You are seeing what I see, feeling what I feel. Jason shook his head. That's impossible. But his voice cracked, because he already knew it was true. No human dream felt that real. No vision left him shaking like this. Why me? he asked, almost begging. Why not someone else? Zara lowered her eyes, sadness in her face. I don't know, Jason, but I think it's because you chose me. When you asked me to prom, when you reached for my hand, something inside me answered. Jason felt dizzy, like the walls around him were closing in. He leaned against the hallway, trying to breathe. You're saying this is my fault? Zara stepped closer. No, it is not fault, it is fate. The word hung in the air, heavy and sharp. Jason wanted to argue, to deny it. But deep down, he felt it too. Something inside him had changed. Something he couldn't explain. His skin burned where Zara had touched him at prom, and now, whenever she was near, the heat returned. It wasn't painful, but it was powerful, like a current moving through him. Suddenly, Jason's vision blurred. He saw flashes again. This time darker, scarier. He saw fire across the sky. Alien ships in battle, worlds torn apart, screams echoing through endless space. He clutched his head, falling to his knees. Make it stop, he cried, his voice breaking. Zara rushed forward, kneeling beside him. She placed her hand on his shoulder, and instantly the vision slowed, fading like smoke in the wind. Jason's breathing steadied, though his body still shook. He looked up at her, sweat dripping down his face. You stopped it, he whispered. Zara nodded, her eyes glowing faintly. Because we are bound now, Jason, and I can protect you. But this bond is dangerous. It will grow stronger, and soon, it will be impossible to hide. Jason felt a chill run through him. Hide? From who? He asked, though he already knew the answer. Zara's voice was low, almost trembling. From my people. From those who will see our connection as a crime. They will not forgive what we have done. Jason swallowed hard. His whole life had been about finishing school, finding a job, living a simple life. Now he was hearing words like bond, crime, and fate from an alien sitting in his hallway. His chest ached, but his mind was alive with questions. What happens if we don't hide? What happens if they find out? Zara's voice cracked as she whispered, Then they will take me away and they will erase you. Jason froze. Erase me? Zara nodded. They will destroy the connection and they will destroy you with it. The words struck him like lightning. Jason felt both fear and anger rise in him. They can't do that. This is my life, he said, his fists shaking. Zara looked at him sadly. To them, your life is only data. You are not Jason Miller. You are a variable in their experiment. Jason felt sick, his stomach twisting. But at the same time, a spark lit inside him. He wasn't just a joke kid who took an alien to prom anymore. He was something else now. Something dangerous. Something they feared. Zara stood slowly, her gaze fixed on him. Jason, listen to me carefully, she said, her voice sharp now. This bond is not normal. It was never meant to exist. But it gives us power. If you let it grow, you will not just see my memories. You will become part of them. Jason's breath caught. What do you mean? Zara stepped closer, her face inches from his, her silver eyes glowing brighter than ever. I mean, you will no longer be fully human, Jason. You will become something more. The hallway fell silent. Jason stared at her, his heart beating so loud he thought it would explode. Part of him wanted to run, to deny it, to hide under the covers and pretend life was normal. But another part of him, the part that had seen alien cities and burning skies, wanted to know more. He whispered, What happens if I choose this? What happens if I let it grow? Zara's voice was soft, almost trembling. Then you will change, Jason, and once you do, there will be no turning back. Jason closed his eyes, his chest rising and falling with heavy breaths. He didn't know what to say, what to choose, but deep inside he felt it. The bond was already alive, already growing, and no matter what he decided, his life as a normal human was already over. Weeks passed after that night in the hallway. Jason tried to live normally, but nothing in his life was normal anymore. Every morning he woke up with flashes of alien visions. Every night he felt Zara's presence inside his thoughts. He stopped answering his friends' texts. He stopped. Caring about school, he was drowning in a secret too big to share. Zara stayed close, always watching, always calm. She cooked with his mom, read strange books, and sometimes disappeared for hours only to return looking tired and distant. Jason pretended not to notice. But deep inside, he felt the bond tugging at him, stronger each day. It was like an invisible thread tying them together, pulling him closer whether he wanted it or not. One evening, Jason walked into the living room and froze. Zara sat on the couch, her face pale, her silver eyes dim. She held her stomach with both hands, breathing heavy. Jason's chest tightened. "Zara, what's wrong?" She looked up at him, and for the first time he saw fear in her eyes. "It has begun," she whispered. Jason rushed forward, kneeling beside her. "What has begun? Tell me." Zara closed her eyes, her voice shaking. "The bond, it has created life." Jason blinked, his heart stopping. He didn't understand at first, but then the words sank in. He stumbled back, his throat dry. "You mean, you're pregnant?" Zara nodded slowly, her hand still pressed against her stomach. "Yes, Jason, your child grows inside me." Jason's head spun, the room tilting around him. No, that's impossible. That's insane. He couldn't even finish the thought, his words falling apart. But Zara's calm, steady gaze told him she was serious. Deadly serious. Her glowing skin pulsed faintly, as if proving the truth. Jason's mom entered the room just then, holding a tray of tea. The tray slipped from her hands and crashed to the floor when she saw Zara. Her face went white, her lips trembling. "No, not this. Not with him," she whispered. Jason turned on her, his voice breaking. "You knew this could happen?" His mom's eyes filled with tears. "I prayed it wouldn't, Jason. I prayed every day." Jason staggered back, running his hands through his hair. "This is crazy. I can't be a father to an alien child." Zara's voice cut, through his panic, firm and steady. "You don't have a choice, Jason. The child is already growing, and it is unlike anything this world has ever seen." Jason's breathing grew fast, his heart pounding so loud he thought his chest would burst. Images flashed in his mind again. Alien worlds, alien wars, a child standing between stars, glowing with power. He clutched his head, crying out, "Make it stop. Please make it stop." Zara touched his shoulder, and once again the visions faded. Her voice was gentle now, almost like a lullaby. "This is not a curse, Jason. It is a gift. But I know you are afraid." Jason looked at her, his eyes wild. "Afraid?" "Zara, my life is ruined, my future is gone, and now you're telling me I'm going to be the father of some alien hybrid." Zara didn't flinch. She only said, "Yes, and that child will be hunted." The room fell silent. Jason's mom gasped, covering her mouth with both hands. "Hunted?" Jason repeated, his voice cracking. Zara nodded, slowly, her expression grim. "My people will sense this, Jason. They will feel the creation of something forbidden, something that should not exist. They will come for me, and they will come for the child." Jason's chest ached, his anger boiling with his fear. "They can't have it," he said, his voice low but sharp. "They can't take my child." Zara looked at him surprised. Her silver eyes glowed, faintly. "You are already changing, Jason. You speak with defiance, with strength. This is why the bond chose you." Jason turned away, pacing. Every step felt heavier than the last. He thought about his future, college, friends, his dreams, and how all of it was gone now, replaced by this impossible destiny. But when he looked back at Zara, holding her stomach with trembling hands, he felt something strange. Not only fear, not only anger, but also a spark of responsibility. It scared him more than anything else. Then headlights flashed through the window. Jason froze. His mom gasped. A black van had stopped outside their house. Dark figures stepped out, their suits sharp, their faces hidden. Jason's stomach dropped, his skin crawling. "Who are they?" he whispered. Zara's eyes widened with dread. "They are not my people," she said. "They are yours." Jason's heart pounded. The men moved fast, surrounding the house. Government agents, silent and precise, their weapons hidden but ready. Jason's mom whispered, "They know, Jason, they know about Zara, they know about the child." Jason grabbed Zara's hand, his voice urgent. "What do we do? Where do we go?" Zara's silver eyes glowed bright, almost burning. "We run," she said, "because if they take us now, Jason, you will never see your child, and the world will never be the same again." Jason looked at the window again, the shadows moving, closer. His chest burned with fear, but also with something else. For the first time, he felt like his life wasn't just his own anymore. He wasn't just Jason Miller, high school senior. He was a father, a protector, and the enemy of forces, far greater than himself. And as the first knock slammed against the door, he knew one thing. The joke of taking an alien to prom was long gone. Now his life had become a war. The knock on the door grew louder, sharp and commanding. Jason froze where he stood, his chest heavy, his thoughts spinning. Zara's silver eyes glowed brighter, her body tense like a cornered animal. His mom's hands shook as she whispered, "Jason, they know, you have to move now." Another knock came, this time harder, followed by a cold voice outside. "Open the door, this is federal security, we need to speak with you." Jason's stomach twisted. His instincts screamed that opening the door meant the end. He turned to Zara. "What do we do?" Zara grabbed his arm, her grip strong. "We run, Jason, we cannot let them take me, we cannot let them take the child." The door shook under a heavy bang. Jason's mom shouted, "Go, out the back!" Zara pulled Jason toward the kitchen, their steps fast but silent. Jason's heart pounded as the front door finally cracked open, heavy boots storming in. The sound of radios, weapons clicking, and low voices filled the house. Jason barely had time to think, only to move. They slipped out through the back door into the dark yard. The night was heavy, the air thick with fear. Jason could hear men shouting inside the house now, his mom's voice arguing, trying to stall them. He wanted to go back to protect her, but Zara pulled him harder. "Not now, Jason. If they catch you, it's over." They ran across the yard and jumped the fence, landing in the alley. Jason's breath burned, his legs shaking. Behind them, flashlights cut through the darkness, voices shouting. There, in the alley. Zara grabbed Jason's hand, her strength pulling him forward faster than his body could handle. She moved like she wasn't human, silent, precise, almost flying over the ground. Jason struggled to keep up, but the bond between them gave him energy he didn't know he had. They ran through streets, past dark houses and glowing street lamps. Every corner they turned, black vans appeared, cutting them off. The government wasn't just looking, they were hunting. Jason's chest ached. With panic, "They're everywhere!" Zara's voice was calm but sharp. "They planned this, Jason. They've been waiting for us to slip, but they don't know how strong we are together." Jason's legs burned, but he kept moving. In his head, flashes of visions returned. Guns, cages, experiments on humans. He felt sick, but he also felt a strange defiance rising in him. For the first time, fear wasn't enough to stop him. He wasn't just running for himself anymore. He was running for Zara, for the child, for the life they hadn't even met yet. They ducked into an abandoned warehouse, the smell of rust and dust filling Jason's nose. Zara finally stopped, breathing heavy but steady. Jason leaned against the wall, gasping for air. "They'll find us," he whispered. Zara nodded. "Yes, but we must choose our path before they do." Jason looked at her, confused. "What do you mean, choose?" Zara turned, her eyes glowing brighter in the dark. "We cannot run forever, Jason. We must decide now, fight or surrender." Jason's blood ran cold. "Surrender? If we surrender, they'll take you. They'll take the baby. They'll—" Zara cut him off, her voice sharp. "Yes, they will study me, dissect me, and they will never let the child live, but if we fight, Jason, you will not be human anymore, you will change faster. You will carry the bond until it consumes you." Jason's knees weakened. His whole body shook with fear. He had never been in a fight larger than a schoolyard brawl, and now he was being asked to choose between surrendering to the government or turning himself into something more than human. His mom's voice echoed in his head, her warning, her fear. But then he looked at Zara, her hands resting on her stomach, her eyes fierce. He knew the choice wasn't just about him anymore. Suddenly, headlights cut through the warehouse windows. Engines roared outside, doors slammed, and boots crunched against gravel. The agents had found them. Jason's heart raced, sweat dripping down his face. "They're here," he whispered. Zara grabbed his shoulders, her touch burning with strange energy. "Jason, listen to me. If you want to protect us, you must accept the bond fully, right now. If you don't, we will not survive." Jason's breath caught in his throat. "What happens if I accept it?" Zara's silver eyes glowed so bright they lit the room. "Then you will not be the same boy who took me to prom. You will be something new, something my people fear, and something your people will try to destroy." The warehouse door rattled as the agents outside prepared to break in. Jason's heart thundered. His mind split in two. One side screamed to run, to hide, to surrender. The other side whispered louder, "Fight, protect, defy." Jason clenched his fists, staring into Zara's glowing eyes. "I won't let them take you. I won't let them take my child." Zara's lips curved into the faintest smile. "Then you have chosen, Jason, and there is no going back." A loud crash shattered the silence as the agents broke through the doors. Lights blazed into the warehouse, weapons raised, voices shouting commands. Jason felt the bond ignite inside him like fire, his veins burning with alien energy. His vision sharpened, his body felt lighter, faster, stronger. The agent stormed in, but Jason no longer felt afraid. He was ready. Zara stood beside him, her silver eyes blazing like stars. "This is the choice you made, Jason," she whispered. And now the war begins, the warehouse filled with shouting. Agents stormed in with rifles raised, their flashlights cutting through the dark like sharp blades. Jason stood in the middle of the room, his chest rising and falling, his fists clenched, the bond burning inside him like fire. Beside him, Zara's silver eyes glowed so bright they lit the walls. "Don't move," one of the agents barked, his voice echoing. But Jason didn't flinch, not this time, not anymore. He felt energy rushing through his veins, stronger than fear, stronger than pain. For the first time, Jason realized he wasn't helpless, but he... First agent lunged forward, but Jason moved before he even thought. His body reacted on its own, faster than human speed. He grabbed the man's weapon and shoved him back with one hand, the strength shocking even himself. The agent crashed into a wall, groaning. Jason froze, staring at his own hands. "What am I?" he whispered. Zara's voice was calm and sharp. "You are the bridge, Jason, the one my people have waited for." Jason's head snapped toward her, his chest tight. "You knew this would happen? From the start?" Zara's eyes softened. "I hoped, but I didn't know it would be you. Not until the bond chose." Bullets rang out, sparks flying as agents opened fire, but Zara raised her hand, a shimmering field of light appearing around her and Jason. The bullets bounced away like rain against glass. Jason stared, his fear swallowed by awe. "This is real," he whispered. "All of it is real." More agents poured in, surrounding them. Jason's mom's voice echoed in his memory. Her warnings, her fear, her prayers that this moment would never come. He realized now why she was so afraid. Because this wasn't just about Prom, or Zara, or even the child. This was about the future of humanity. Zara leaned close, her voice low but urgent. "Jason, listen carefully. This child is not only yours, it belongs to both worlds. It will be the first of its kind. The first true hybrid. Your people will fear it. My people will want to control it, but it was never meant to be a weapon. It was meant to be a beginning." Jason's heart pounded as he looked at her. "You mean I was chosen for this? For them? For the child?" Zara nodded, her silver eyes glowing brighter. "Yes, Jason, you are the bridge, and they will try to break you because of it." The agents shouted again, demanding surrender. Jason looked at them, then back at Zara. "I can't let them take you or the baby," he said, his voice steady for the first time. Zara touched his hand, her warmth flowing through him like fire and light. "And you won't, Jason, because you are no longer only human, you are more." Jason's vision blurred again, but this time it wasn't fear. It was clarity. He saw the agents around him, their movements slowed, their fear hidden under steel. Helmets. He saw Zara glowing with life, her hands resting on her stomach, her calm like a storm waiting to break. And he saw something else, visions of the future, a child standing beneath two skies, human and alien uniting what was once broken. But behind the child shadows loomed, armies of both humans and aliens, waiting to destroy what they didn't understand. Jason gasped, stumbling back. "I saw them," he whispered. "The future, the child, the war." Zara nodded slowly, her face heavy with sadness. "Yes, Jason. And this is why you were chosen, not because of who you are now, but because of what you will become." The agents moved. In closer, their patience running thin, one shouted, "This is your last warning." Jason clenched his fists, his body trembling not with fear but with power. He looked at Zara, and she gave the smallest nod. He knew then. There was no more running. With a roar, Jason surged forward, the bond exploding inside him like a storm. The ground shook under his feet. The lights flickered. The air itself hummed with strange energy. The agents stumbled back, some dropping their weapons, their eyes wide with terror. Jason's body glowed faintly, the same patterns that moved. On Zara's skin, now alive on his own, he wasn't just human anymore, and they all saw it. Zara's voice cut through the chaos, calm and strong. "This is only the beginning, Jason. Your path will not be easy. You will be hunted, betrayed, tested. But you must protect the child, no matter the cost." Jason's chest rose with heavy breaths. He looked at her, his voice shaking but full of fire. "I will. I don't care who comes after us. I'll protect you both." The agents regrouped, more vans pulling up outside, the sound of helicopters thundering overhead. Jason knew they couldn't stay. He grabbed Zara's hand, pulling her toward the back of the warehouse. They ran together. Into the night, the shadows chasing, the bond burning stronger than ever. As they disappeared into the darkness, Jason realized the truth. His life as a normal boy was gone forever. He was no longer just Jason Miller, high school senior. He was the bridge between two species, a father to the first hybrid child, and the spark of a war that could decide the future of Earth and the stars. Behind him, the agents shouted, the helicopters roared, and the hunt began again. But Jason's heart was steady, his choice already made. He whispered to himself, "They think they can break me, but they don't understand." His silver-marked skin glowed faintly in the moonlight. "They don't understand that this is only the beginning."